After having witnessed the state of engineering education in the state of Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, the Why Engineering talk show has now moved on to the state of Andhra Pradesh, which has recently seen a major political turmoil over the creation of Telangana. The expanse of engineering education in the state of Andhra Pradesh can be ascertained from the fact that there are 3 seats of the State Technical University located at Kakinada, Hyderabad and Anantapur. Today we have with us the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Kakinada, Professor G. Tulasi Ramdas. A man of electronics, Dr. Ramdas has specialized in power electronics and drives. We have also with us Dr. Divakar Goyal, who heads the Human Resources Department at the Airports Authority of India. An eminent management thinker, Dr. Goyal has a unique knack into the recruitment of young engineers at his coveted organization. I welcome both our panelists today. My first question would be to Dr. Goyal. Sir, what kind of opportunities do you envisage for the fresh engineering graduates in general and in public sector undertakings like Airports Authority of India in particular?
There are a large number of opportunities for a young engineering graduate, not only in my organization, Airports Authority of India, but other public sectors in the country also. The only requirement is that the young engineering graduate, when they opt for a branch, they should not focus only from the employability point of view. They should think about that every branch is important and there are career opportunities, abundance in the public sectors and otherwise. Say for example, for mechanical also, automobile also, and for electronics, electrical, any branch you take, civil or other branches, but the focus should not be on any one particular branch, because if they go and they see the organization, we require engineers from all the fields, even architecture. So the focus should be on all the branches, even marine, aeronautical engineering. So some of the branches are there which are not being chosen by the people who are opting for the engineering graduation. So for me, I feel that there is a great opportunity for all times to come.
So there is a lot of optimism which Dr. Goyal is envisaging for. My next question to Professor Tulsidas. Sir, your university is located quite in close proximity to major industrial hubs and especially the seat of IT in this country. So being a Vice Chancellor of JNTU Kakinada, what kind of opportunities do you see for the fresh engineering graduates around Andhra Pradesh, around Kakinada, where the seat of your university is located?
Andhra Pradesh, as you said rightly, is a seat of IT, and a lot of IT opportunities expansion took place even in Vizag and 2-tier and 3-tier centers like Kakinada. We have STPI in Kakinada, and we have a lot of opportunities in Andhra Pradesh for young engineers, and branches are not more important there. So the 12th class students, what I would advise them is, don't pick up a branch out of the employment or out of some pressure from peer group. So out of your natural interest, whatever branch you pick up, you will do wonders in that, and creativity will come only through natural interest. So the major threat for engineering education is they are not being carried out the total course of study by interest. So parents are influencing them to put them into some computer science, and there is enough saturation in IT field. But there are all software industries are diversifying their areas in application area in every field. So there is a reason even mechanical engineer, electrical, electronics, they also finding, even civil engineering is finding jobs in IT sector. So application areas are aplenty, and multi-dimensional, interdisciplinary research, innovation, applications are happening.
So you mean to suggest that students should look for more of a career in engineering?
Career in engineering.
Because that will unfold after 4 years, and the way economy is unfolding. Sir, we got to know that JNTU happens to be India's oldest state technological university. What kind of impact on the regional economy of, say, Andhra Pradesh? We talk about globalization these days, but there is a growing concern of talking about the regional impact. Have the graduates of JNTU Kakinada created in the last several years?
Yeah, definitely, because the state of Andhra Pradesh everywhere, not only in Andhra Pradesh but also across various IT centers in India and also abroad, Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley, they should know only two languages. One language is computer language, another is Telugu language. So those many Andhrites are spread across in Silicon Valley and US, and even in Andhra Pradesh, TCS picks up major from JNTU affiliated colleges and the universities. They pick up about 20,000 graduates engineers from all domains, only exclusive from Andhra Pradesh.
So, preparing a talent for a global organizations is one part. We are more interested in knowing that what impact have the graduates from JNTU Kakinada created for the region per se.
No, in Kakinada, STPI and then STPI in Vizag and the IT hub in Hyderabad, almost 60% of them are from Andhra Pradesh, and the rest of them are coming from other parts like Maharashtra, then Gujarat, and then northern states. So Tamil Nadu also, there are some people.
So what kind of careers are you seeing unfolding in the next 4 to 5 years apart from IT? IT services is getting saturated in some fashion, but what are the other career options you are seeing?
So there are plenty of career options till 2030. You say US economy, if you can see, the oil and natural gas expansion is about increased by 35% by 2020, and also the energy, electrical power plants is also going by 45% by 2020. And America alone need to set up 1900 power plants in next 10 years. Then if you take that, almost like 60 to 70 power plants per year, so almost weekly one power plant need to be established to meet the energy requirement in US alone.
Okay.
And that is for electrical engineers, mechanical engineers and civil engineers to build the power plants. And Indian electronics even comes physics background people also can come. The whole world market is going up to $2.4 trillion US by 2020, electronic industry. And Indian mandate is $400 US business by 2020, and we require 28 million engineers by 2020. And especially this ESDM, the electronic system design and manufacturing, that industry in India, they require in VLSI and chip design specialists, PhD level, 2,500 PhDs in that specialization per year. We don't even create 2,500 PhDs across the country in all domains. So that is the demand we have to have the exports of $400 billion electronic industry world over.
So just one question which emanates from this, does the drive for doing a doctoral research, a doctoral degree, should a student think right from its undergraduate levels? Is it possible? Have you seen that trend?
That because of the plenty of job opportunities at BTech level, they are not carrying out their postgraduate studies. So that is the reason recently many institutions have started integrated 5-year degree program, master degree program, so that the BTech level 3+2, 5 years, they can carry out the PG level. Then any time in their career they get opportunity, then they can do the research.
My next question to Dr. Divakar Goyal. Sir, engineering has somehow got synonymous with IT, as we have seen that IT is all pervasive. Now, having worked at Airports Authority of India, how do you propose to quash this larger precept amongst the students and their parents at large, so that they can broaden up their horizons and look through the engineering world from the other exciting possibilities which are existing out there?
You see, in this direction, my job is made easy by the media and the overall the people know about aviation. Aviation is already in the news. You hear about the new airlines coming. A young graduate knows about it, that there is an engineer behind every aircraft. So that awareness level is generating. They are coming to know a lot of opportunities are there, not only for pilot, even for my air traffic control. What radars you are seeing and all, a large number of people are required, electronics engineers to maintain those equipments. what we call at CNS, Communication, Navigation, Surveillance. And the only point is that what IT people are focusing toward, they should think about a mechanical engineer is as important for me, a civil engineer or electrical as the electronics. Because after all, I've got the buildings, I've got the airports, I've got architects, we have got different 10, 11 streams out of engineering itself. Automobile is also there, and so many things are there, and we are all as a team, we work at the airport. It's not a single man's job. A IT man cannot perform his duties unless and until other supporting arches are there. So only problem is that now an engineer is coming, like Vice Chancellor has rightly said, that when a civil engineer comes in the IT sector. I had been debating on this for years together, that lot many people who are mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, civil engineer, just for employment opportunities, they go for the IT sector. And I lose a good civil engineer. I lose a good electrical engineer in that way. And a big loss to the country, production engineer, industrial engineer. Some of the institutes are there in the country which are not aware people NITI in Bombay. Imparting such a good education you see in the field of engineers only. But the market is not catching up because the young good is seeing only employment focusing there. So my request by way of this program is that an engineer, VC has rightly said that aptitude is important, interest is important. As an engineer you should think about what is your aptitude, what interest you have got. From the early childhood you see a building, you see how the building has been made, how so many floors have come, how towers have come. You see the building 100 stories and all. Idea stuck to my mind what the civil engineer job is there, what the architect job is there. And don't look only at the metros. Metros is not India. Because we have got, like I say about my organization, we have got 125 odd airports. We require engineers each and every airport, whether it is Port Blair or Agati also. So one has to open itself, a challenging job, especially for the young graduates. Air traffic control, another field, we have gone to the stage of BSc also we are taking. A lot of attrition was coming. A person was coming to my organization, I spent thousands, lakhs of rupees, I must say, in 2 years training at CATC Allahabad to make him as a perfect air traffic controller, to sit on the radar. And after 2 years and all, just he switch over the loyalty or whatever I say, he is not being able to create the bonding with the organization, where the problem lies. And I lose that man, he resigns, taking the name of the organization, switch over to another. So the biggest problem is coming, we spend a lot of money training a person to make his our man. That applies to other organizations also, my colleagues in other public sectors.
I think this is a very, very pertinent point which Dr. Diwakar Goyal has raised, and this is getting a severe problem across industry. The loyalty index and the long-term view of the engineering graduates per se. I would look forward for a response from Professor Tulasi Das, that how the academia is shaping up the minds of the students in the 4 years of their churning at the campuses about this dominant need which industry is facing.
Now all academic institutions should rethink and redesign their curriculum. Now whole world is going for the outcome based education parameters to be brought into the curriculum design, with learning objectives very clearly specifying, then learning assessments and outcome based examination system. And that in JNTU Kakinada, the first university which has implemented OBV syllabus revision for entire 20 branches across affiliated colleges. Okay, across 210
really
engineering, spectacular one. And we conducted a lot of workshops, and NBA Dinesh Paliwal also came to sensitize the faculty members first, so that they can take up the curriculum revision. So 2013 regulation we have done it. The present first years have been doing their studies with that outcome based. The teaching learning side, the same blackboard teaching may not work well, because in school present generation are more attached to multimedia resources, and they are attached to Discovery Channel, and they see all things in animation mode and advanced knowledge. So even teaching learning should go with ICT practices, and in that direction this is the first university developed e-learning content for teachers as well as for the students.
Okay.
For 6 engineering branches, major engineering branches like IT, computer science,
And this is all done in-house?
in-house,
Okay.
with a technology provider who can do the multimedia.
But the content
aspects.
is all
Content
yours.
is developed by our own teachers.
Okay,
And
okay.
that PPT model is given to this teacher. So teacher has to use it. He can participate, remodify, and then use it. So the animation pictures will create a lot of interest and the understanding levels of the student.
Okay.
And student is also given audio video content so that he can revisit several times. For shooting is self-paced learning, so that end of the day you should learn the content. So that is one. The third innovative what we have taken is online evaluation system.
Okay.
So we digitize the answer script,
Okay.
and then valuation is done remotely.
So the results are coming timely.
Coming timely, and accuracy is also more important. And we can also provide soft copy to the student on demand. And even after 100 years, we can retrieve his own answer paper. So this is one thing. And this employability skills training must be done very rigorously in the institutions with collaboration with HR of certain industries or private providers. So that we have done it and we could succeed to some extent for last 2 years.
So there's a growing thought amongst the industry leaders per se that like the medical field where for 5 years we study the human body as a whole and all the 22 sub-branches of medical sciences. So in increasingly era of interdisciplinary research and convergence of technologies, so the BTech program is also moving towards that direction. Where a student of engineering should have the knowledge about each domain of engineering, a little bit of it, and the specialization has to come in the post-graduation level. So what is the take of JNTU Kakinada in this direction?
No, we have first year for all branches of 20 branches of engineering, the syllabus is common. The